And in F2's returning season 19, we are back for more racing, round 8 of the season, and it's also the second trip to Las Vegas in the F2 cars for RPL. We've ran here before since then in a lot of tiers. Actually, to be factual, our first race at Las Vegas in all tiers happened with F2, but it's good to be back for the second time. And this time, today, we can decide the Constructors' Championship. Trident are leading over Carlin, ART, and Virtuosi, but they need to at least have a decent sprint race and really just not have too terrible of a feature race in order to win the Constructors' Championship. Lots of things to look forward to tonight, especially the Drivers' Championship, which is also close as well. But as you may know, I'm your commentator, Ryan Searles. Welcome along, everybody. Welcome, chat. Welcome, everyone. I have two in-race reporters tonight joining me. I have RSF1 Invade. He'll be right back. He is currently AFK. But the guy who's going to help open up the stream for tonight, the man who you guys know commentates Tier 3, a previous Tier 2 champion, and now someone who almost had a Tier 1 podium last week. I'm sure you would hate to talk about that, but we are gonna. Tadpole, welcome along.
Hello, yeah, thank you. I did not forget to include my audio, so I think I should be fine.
Yes, I can hear you. Yep, we're good. I did invite you, Wavy. Alright, so I don't know why Skither's pinging Jack. He's not in here, but we're gonna invite Skither and some of the PC guys who need that invite toward their name. It should go. We got him, and we're gonna get Skither now because he is online. So Tadpole, let's talk about the championship, Drivers' Championship more specifically as of right now. So with Jack leading over Skither by 9 points, Metal just third place, you and Josh fourth and fifth. First Josh, then you. We need to talk about it because Jack is missing tonight's event. Skither is not missing tonight's event. So this is going to make things a bit more interesting. If you're someone like SLR Metal, you're going to be able to close up to Jack a bit more. He was able to close up to Skither the previous week before Texas with Skither missing twice. And now, I mean, if you think about it, you being in this championship fight, this also gives you a bit of extra fuel to the fire.
Yeah, totally. Obviously, it's around over 50 points behind, behind Jack, and Sid's not too far off. I think it's only 9 points off the lead. So I mean, anything can happen. You can get quite a lot of points. You can get what 38, 39 points from an F2 weekend.
39, yep.
So hopefully things go well. Hopefully things don't go bad. Like I think last week wasn't too great. We I think got a penalty or two, so that really didn't help.
And the interesting thing about it is that I know there's a lot of rumors circulating about next season's F2 thing. You know, there will be a few people who remain as TP. There will be others who do not. So that's a big talking point. I know Trat Racer will get his TP role removed. Invade might, because the fact that he will be going up to being an F1 TP. You guys are TP and co-TP of Ferrari. We'll talk about that in a moment. And another thing as well is that the championship itself. We're going to talk about that for one other extra thing right now. If for some reason we get better attendance next season, which we've got good attendance here, but there's some champions who have to race weekly to get some better attendance. I don't think there's any currently in the lobby, but with that being said, I know George wants to definitely have a little push, especially if there is enough attendance to not allow previous F2 champions to race. I was going to say you have two previous F2 champions, Jack and Skither, leading the way. If so, for some reason, I know you're looking at this, you know, right now as a co-com, Tadpole, maybe not for yourself, but if someone like SLM Metal wins it, that definitely makes the next season a bit more interesting, and it definitely closes up the field if for some reason that whole thing about champions being banned does go through.
Yeah, personally, I can't see it happening. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the greatest thing to do. You still get a good fight for the championship, even with F2 champions. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it opens up the field. More people could potentially get up and win the championship. Might boost attendance that way, but I don't think so.
Well, I will say this. Jack leads over Skither by 9 points for those who are not aware. Metal is 37 points back. Metal, I mean, he's someone you battled, but I will say, he's been on it. He really has been on it. He was so far back at one point in the championship to where him really being in this fight is a bit of a surprise in some way that he was able to recover such a loss gap.
Yeah, I think he's really been putting in the effort to I guess get good at these F2 cars, and it showed off, especially with Qatar. Great performance there. Did he get both wins, or was it? No, I got this one. What am I doing? Forgetting that. But yeah, he's done really
got
well.
one taken away in the swords from 2 in Qatar.
Oh dear. Did I?
No, Metal did.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Forgetting things, but he did well in the race.
He did win Texas too, by the way. He won Texas once, so that helps.
Yep.
Jake Bandy being loaned to VAR. We'll speak about our loans in just a moment, folks. We're just getting a few things sorted out. For tonight, he will have a qualifying ban. So yeah, Jake Bandy will have a qualifying ban. He is getting loaned out. With that being said, we are readying up, it looks like, for the event. And let's tell you who is on loan tonight. George Up Williams in the high tech. They've not had a podium this season. Hunted, reserving, and Virtuoso. You've seen him make a few starts this season. Wrecked by Storm. It's his first start. He was signed right when F2 started up once again as a reserve. We have Blonde and the Camp Boss tonight. And I believe Jake Bandy, our only other driver in reserves for the VAR. So yeah, we have some interesting things going for tonight. I really hope Invade can get back in time for qualifying. Let's tell you a few things here about the circuit. Oh, good thing you're back. Make sure your audio is included, by the way. Our 2 in-race reporters we've got, Invade and Tadpole. Awesome. So for those who are not aware, Tier 3, Tier 2 already happened this weekend. Tier 3, George wrapped up the championship. Gerard took victory. And for Tier 2 yesterday, that was Ferrari on top. It was Lewis Piper had a Josh. You guys being the co-TP and TP of Ferrari are definitely going to be happy about that. We'll talk about that right after qualifying before the race. We have 25 seconds till we're getting going. Let's tell you about the circuit history here with all tiers before we get to qualifying. By the way, chat, give us your predictions for who you think will get onto pole position tonight, and that will be important for some points in the championship, whether it's constructors or drivers. So we had a photo finish here in Tier 2 coming across line in their first race here. We had a championship decider for second place and the constructors in Tier 2 a few seasons after. Tier 1, we saw some crazy races, some photo finishes here for some of the back half of the field. Jack Miles, one of the stewards from being P4. And more importantly, we cannot forget our first F2 race around the circuit as well, by the way, which was won by Suggy C1, a first-time winner. And actually, Luke Grange got his final F2 win around this circuit. That was his 45th, I believe. Yes, it was. And the man right behind him, it's third on our charts right now, together, 31 points. So, we're going to leave Tadpole and Invade to it for qualifying, then we'll speak to them after. But right now, it is a SLR Metal who's leading, heading into the heavy braking zone here. Let's take you around this track. This corner is going to be very tricky. Just remember how these F2 cars are. Rear braking, very tough in the drivers. Josh has put himself up to the top of the table as we get towards Sector 2 here quite soon. Now this chicane, a lot of people call it the Mickey Mouse chicane. It really does feel like that. These set of corners are tricky for the drivers. You can already see Skither have a little bit of a wiggle. That's exactly what that does. Keep in mind, for those of you who are not aware of the F2 system, our current man on sprint race pole right now is RPL Titan Iron. That will be important for this race, especially with guys like Hunted, Tadpole, Skither, Metal, and Josh. We're extremely fast, but that heavy braking zone right there is very tough, and it will be important for this straight here. You go to 5th gear, and then you will go to 6th gear. DRS will be applied. But that is further down. Look at how far down it is until DRS gets applied in this straight. It's extremely long. Right now, Josh on pole position over SLR Metal. We're going to take our attention to him. Speaking of Josh right now, heavy braking zone here. Can't cut that chicane. It's very tricky to not invalidate sometimes to there. But he's had an F2 win. And he's also had a few of them. But he also got his first Tier 2 podium yesterday. Across the line now, it'll be his first pole position by just over a 10th. Then it's Metal, Skither, Tadpole, Wavy to the top 5. And our man on sprint race pole will be RPL Titan Iron. Both premas starting in the top 3. It is Josh for the first time on pole position. And I believe that's ART's first pole since Beatnik did it back in Spain just 2 seasons prior. Fair play to them. We have our in-race reporters, Tadpole and Invade. They are 4th and 11th. Just want to remind you for our sprint race top 5. Here it is. RPL Titan Iron. Ichigo, also known as Ikazuchi. Blugagi, Blonde, and Trap. So, Invade, I want to talk to you first. You were not inside the top 10. Just give me what happened there to miss out on a potential sprint race pole.
Well, I spun. I just the rear steps out, and I wasn't comfortable with slope.
Tadpole talked about messing up, or not Tadpole, Titan talked about messing up twice and still got sprint race pole. Tadpole, you've been a sprint race merchant here in F2 quite a bit. You're starting 4th. Is that a good spot to be starting? Well, really, not, sorry, 6th I meant, yeah. 7th, whatever for the sprint. But 4th in the feature.
Yeah, it's good. It's ahead of the fast drivers, so hopefully good shot of like not going too far backwards and getting a launch on maybe the slower guys in the front.
Yeah, I really think the start's going to be crucial because if you brake too late, you're going to rear lock it down at turn 1. I don't know if anyone is stream sniping, but I would like to know from you guys because I'm looking at Blugagi right now on 6-0 wings. I know there's going to be some crazy wings here tonight. Are you guys running anything similar to that?
Yeah, everyone's
I'm using
that.
the same.
And Ferrari, by the way. Yeah, I would say so. You need the straight line speed around here. That will be important, especially down the strip. You guys, I want to talk to you guys quickly before we get going. I think we got like 20 seconds now. Ferrari won yesterday. Happy to be about that, especially, I would say, right?
Yeah, compared to previous results, much better.
I mean, we're finally scoring points.
Exactly. 1 point over the last 2 races before that. Here we go for the 5 red lights here in just a second.
Go.
Our second trip to Vegas in the F2 cars is about to get underway. The 5 red lights are kicking on now. And lights out. Away we go for the sprint. Titan Iron Wolf on pole. Going to have to defend from Ikazuchi. He's going to be put 3 wide from his teammate. And the ART there on the inside. Blonde is well in the mix. 2x2, 2 rows deep for the lead. Titan goes spinning. He had contact. He went up into the car alongside him, and it's already disaster. A season that was already bad has gone from bad to worse on this start when it could have been maybe a podium. Now, Strat Racer down the inside. Heavy braking now here for this corner. You saw a slide from Skither. Oh, crashing. That's George, and crucially, SLR Metal. 2 Red Bull livery cars are around, and Ikazuchi has missed the braking point, and he gets a penalty for good measure. You know, this is going to set up very well, especially for the rest of this as he hits the wall. That's Blugagi. He's ghosted Ikazuchi, and now Blugagi will make the move. Josh up to 7th. Wavy getting eaten alive, it looks like right now. And Titan just got a 10-second penalty. Does he have damage? That'll be a good question to ask later on, but here comes Blonde. Oh, Blugagi. Heavy into the braking zone, almost hit the wall, almost hit his competitor, but now it's a 4-car race down the strip. This is going to get very exciting. Who's going to come out with the lead now as we get to Sector 3? Oh boy, this is going to get very tight. They're about to be 3 wide, maybe 4 wide. We've seen 4 wide on F2 cars. This might not end well. Blugagi right now is the lead. They are going to go 4 wide momentarily. Now they're backing off for the braking zone. Behind, Ikazuchi, Blonde, side by side. You have Skither and Josh. It's all happening behind Tadpole, who's gained some spots. We'll look at the spots gained right now. And Hunted and Invade, they've got no incident. Invade has no front wing. Invade, what happened? Oh!
Basically, do you know how Medal spun? George seems like he's gone too deep on the brakes. He spun around him, and I got damaged because I had to try and avoid it. And then at the end of that straight, I got me and Hunted locked, and we both went into a wall.
Well, that is very detrimental for your race. Blonde now looking to make the move on Tadpole. Will he go down the inside? No, he's going to make Tadpole break a little bit later, and he's now in a 3-wide situation. Oh my goodness, Skither, Josh, both trying to split him as well. And now Blonde will try to get the advantage here as they get to the braking zone. The sphere section, so tricky for the drivers to end up getting it single file. They're back to single file, and Jake Bandy in 10th. We'll need an invite back to the session. We'll get him sorted right now as this battling seems to calm down. Tadpole. It's getting scary behind you.
Yep. It's getting scary in front of me as well.
Now we're about to see what ends up happening here. I don't think I have Jake Bandy unless it's EA. I'm going to have to figure that out. But we have battling for second place now. Trat Racer, Ikazuchi. Trat Racer now trying to take the lead over Bulgogi. He's already got a two F2 wins to his name, Trat Racer. He's going to want another one, I'm sure. Now he'll go to take the lead. 2 by 2. Who's going to get the advantage here? No DRS yet, but does Tadpole have the straight line speed to go from 4th to 1st? Here we go, 3 wide, 4 wide! Oh my goodness! Who's going to break the latest? This might get catastrophic. Goggy hangs on to the lead. That was crazy. And now Skither gets Josh. There's almost contact for the second time heading into this area between the pair of them. But this, right now, is a crazy, crazy race. And it's only gonna be about lap 3 now. That's how crazy it is right now. Jake Bandy, let me get you an invite back. How do I accept you wanting to join? Don't know about that. I have to go to invites, right? Yes, request to join, send game invite. There we go. Got it. See, you learn new things. And I think SLR Metal learning new things as well at the back of the field. Sadly, he got involved in an incident. He's going to hope to at least get some sort of points tonight. But someone who's not after their sprint race pole is RPL Titan Iron. And right now, Bulgogi trying to hang onto the lead, gets a tap from Tadpole. And now the cars behind him are even more hungrier to get by than they were prior. I'm sure you're not happy with that, Tadpole.
Yeah, no, it's just really difficult to predict when the car in front's going to break. It's all good.
I'm going to guess there's no damage?
No damage.
Good. That's what we love to see. We have an 8-car race at the front of the field. Oh, spin! Ikazuchi looped it. And that is troubling. Down to 8th, now 9th. Wrecked by Storm, by the way, on his debut up to 8th. Last point spot right now. He's gained 4 spots. Tadpole's gained 5. That's the most. And right now he's trying to go for a 6th spot here on our race leader. How about 3 wide? Trat Racer in the mix as well. The 2 leaders squawked around and Trat Racer went through. Trat Racer, a race after knowing that he's going to be removed from team principal next season, now fighting it out, and once again fighting it out into this section for the 3rd time in 3 laps. That's Skither. That's Josh. Skither gets Josh. Bulgogi down to 3rd. Wavy Knife in on the mix with Josh. How does this handle itself? You have Josh. The Josh in F1 cars, actually, I should say, is good mates with Wavy. This one right now is trying to battle him for a place right here, and I think he did get it. We had to pause quickly to invite Jake Bandy back and get him another invite. But SLR Metal, fastest lap. Trat Racer leads. Then it's Tadpole and Goggy. But crucially, they are ahead of Skither. But is time ticking? We're going to find out. Josh keeps battling Skither, and he does get him down to the braking zone. Tadpole, I hate to tell you, at the break. Tadpole is ahead. Trat Racer gets the DRS. That's what's crucial. We didn't even realize what the detection point was. Will Bulgogi take on the pair of them both? Here comes Bulgogi to the middle now. Squeeze play move. Can it work out for Bulgogi, who's never won an F2 cars? Down the inside, he's through. And this time, Skither and Josh do not battle here into these 3 set of corners, the chicane. But they do catch up to our race leaders, crucially. Just gonna say, Wrecked by Storm not having the best of events. That's fair to say, but he had Ikazuchi spin right in front of him. He's having a completely worse event, but it's good to see Wrecked by Storm in this Trident, trying to salvage what they can for the Constructors' Championship today. They don't need to win it in the sprint, but they definitely will probably get it in the feature, assuming each team that is in this fight does not do what they need to. And Tadpole, was that the wall there?
Yep, this car seems to be indestructible.
Well, don't jinx yourself now. Ikazuchi gets Wrecked by Storm, and George wants to look to do the same. It's definitely something to prove yourself with. You're right in front of the tier coordinator, you know, for the tier you don't want to mess up for sure. And we have cars almost going wide in the back. That's, I think, Trat Racer and Josh, who got very close to either hitting Tadpole or the wall. But it's just so tricky to get it slowed down there at those set of corners. You want to brake late, you want to get closed up, but then you don't want to hit the car in front of you. And that's the tricky thing. Get to Invade, who's running 14th in a moment. One of our in-race reporters not having the best of nights, but right now, here comes Skither. Is he looking to make the move on Josh? No. Trat Racer's there to Tadpole, but Blue Goggy is going to be a sitting duck here, Tadpole. George gets Jake Bandy.
I don't know, maybe he has the gap.
Maybe, but we're going to find out. DRS gets enabled here in just a second. It is now. Josh and Trat are right behind. Will the wing difference make anything of it? We'll find out. Here comes Tadpole on Blue Goggy to the braking zone. He sits behind. Josh, though, not wanting to sit behind. This is all happening behind Tadpole, and Josh backs off, but loses 2 places, technically. He was trying to go for 1, then backed off, and Skither got him, caught him napping. That is big for this race. George gets 9th. George on the recovery drive might still be on for points. You never know. Wrecked by Storm gets Jake Bandy, who's rejoined the session now. He's back with Tadpole on the inside of Blue Goggy in the braking zone at turn 1. Blue Goggy trying to pull a defensive masterclass after he tried to pull one yesterday in Monaco with damage. Couldn't do it. Now trying to do it for, more crucially, a first victory on lap 6. I think the best thing for Goggy here, Invade, and you've raced him for quite a while, Invade, and oh, we have a spin. That is Wrecked by Storm. It's gone from bad to worse for him. Invade, you've raced him for quite a bit here, Goggy, and you've been in the same academy, I believe, and teammates with him before. Is Skither, will they make the move? Nope. I think the thing crucially for him, and I think you can agree, especially being in a similar spot, is that he's got battling from Josh and Skither right here, all behind, to where it might be a little bit easier here to defend for all this.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he has to try to keep a calm head and hopefully he doesn't let the wing get over his head.
Yeah, we had some slides right behind, by the way. That was Josh. Remember, this is a 7-car train. Anything can happen. High Tech, they don't have a podium this season. PHM, they're not in this race, but they don't have a podium this season. I know they would love to get on the podium, High Tech, but right now it's all happening for a race lead. Hunted LAX back in 13th as a penalty. 3rd place up for grabs. The lead up for grabs. Tadpole retakes it. Will Skither retake 3rd now? He was trying to look for it on Trat Racer. He's around the outside, but Trat Racer just defending for all his life right here, doing a great job of it. Skither has been on the attack quite well as well. Got up the field from starting, I believe, 8th, excuse me. So right now, Trat Racer trying to pull off a defense from this attack, and that maybe was moving twice. I'm not sure if the stewards will want to look at it, but that did get very tight. All fair and clean from what it looks like here on our angle, but right now, they're losing time to the guys up in front. Trat did get the DRS. Skither is alongside. Josh is there too. Will we see 3 wide? Josh, he's got the DRS. Will he make the move down here into the heavy braking zone? No, but he had a look. Now Skither goes a bit deep. Just tags the wall. Trat has to back out, and he does just that. Crucially, though, losing time. Oh, Skither, did he go wide? Maybe just a defensive maneuver. But they've got 5 cars in this train now, which will hopefully get to our race leaders to maybe create more drama. But for Blue Goggy and Tadpole's sake, they wouldn't want that. Blue Goggy looking for a first win, by the way. He's had, I believe, 6 F2 podiums, 3 in Tier 2. I'll have to check the numbers if we get closer here for the final few laps. But all of his finishes behind the race leaders, except for like 1 or 2 in F2, have been behind champions. And we have another spinner. That is, I think, Jake Bandy? That was somebody right up in front. I think that was Ichigo. Yes, it was. That was Ikazuchi. Ichigo, by the way, same person. Right now, on lap 7, Blue Goggy has the DRS and will repass Tadpole for a race lead. Trat Racer crucially by Skither and Josh as well. It is a practical DRS train in a NASCAR race down the strip as you see these guys overtake and then re-overtake each other back. Will we see 3 wide? Skither wants to get on the equation as well. You have Trat Racer and Josh equally side by side. Now, Skither, I think, just bumping the back of him right there. Trying to get by, trying to find a way to put pressure. He's got Trat alongside now. Josh gets Trat, and Trat muscled up right there, pushed out of the way, and now back to 6. Blonde got him as well. Blonde, we've not really seen a lot of him in F2, by the way, because he's had such poor performances to start the season. But I must say, Tadpole doing what he can to keep his championship hopes alive right now in this sprint. And Blugagi doing what he can to defend from this lead. But they've got to do this a little bit longer, though. 2.5 laps remaining when we get to Sector 2. And crucially, let's tell you about this, though. 1.5 the gap. We saw a gap of, I think, 3 seconds within the last 2 laps at Silverstone with Blugagi leading. Come down. He does not want to see that. Wreck by Storm incident. Trat Racer and Blonde trade spots, and Jake Bandy and Ikazuchi trading spots as well. More yellow flags. That is Wrecked by Storm again. This is not good for the man on debut. Oh, Trat Racer went wide. He'll lose DRS with Blonde. Blonde tried to go by. He couldn't. Skither is now battling Josh, but they both need to get in the DRS if they want a chance for this victory. Right now, I know Tadpole loves his quote, so we'll use it on him. He's coming fast and coming hard. Will he get the race lead, though? Inside? Yes! Now, does he go by and take it and keep it? Side by side for the lead. And he does go through, but he slides in the process. Blugagi is there, and Skither and Josh also trade spots. So that's also crucial in this fight to get up to the leaders, but they're not in DRS yet. They are just away from it. These leaders cannot battle this out if they want to settle it amongst themselves. And Blugagi is going for it. No, he backs off. However, I think Josh is still putting pressure on Skither. I think he made Skither go wide. They've still caught up to the leaders, but this is crucial, though. All happening behind the front two. George up Williams, penalty. Vade, I know you can't see this race for our lead, but hold on. Gagi backing off, not going for it. Josh, though, not backing off. He's going around the outside. And will he get this? Will he get it? Josh is through for 3rd. This is crucial. He's in DRS, but is it too little too late? And Vade, I just wanted to mention, you know, for F2, Wavy is your driver. He's up in 7th. George not having the best races in 9th. Metal had a poor race so far. It's safe to say he's in 8th last point spot. I'm sure you're loving to see all this in front of you with the battling, but I know you'd love to be in it yourself right now.
Yeah, it's a bit gutting that I'm down here, but hopefully my drivers can pick up the points where they can. Hopefully they can get a bit closer, a bit more points. It's not been a strong sprint race though for us.
And that happens, but right now we have more yellow flags. That is Jake Bandy. No, sorry, that is George around. And there's been an incident between Jake Bandy and Hunted further on back. We need to focus on our leaders for a second. Blugagi is going past and overtaking Tadpole, but there's going to be 1 lap remaining next time. He's going to have to defend from a Tier 2 champion, new Tier 1 driver. He's going to have to defend from a Tier 2 or Tier 1 champion twice, and an F2 champion twice, and a most recent Tier 2 podium sitter. Final lap underway. Blugagi leads at the final lap mark as we reach it, but now he needs to be leading as soon as we get back to the checker flag. If I'm Blugagi here, I am letting Tadpole go at that detection point just to get DRS right here, because if he doesn't do that, he's a sitting duck from Josh and Skither, and he's looking for that first F2 victory. Josh behind Tadpole. This is going to be important for Gagi to hold on for the victory. Side by side, wheel to wheel. Skither not going to put his nose in there either. Yellow flags as Jake Bandy's crashed. That will not be a safety car. It's too late, but there's a lot of incidents happening all behind. You see how much time George has lost. You see how much time everybody really lost there. And Gagi went deep. Gagi went deep. Is this what he needs to get the DRS? I know it's not what he needs to get the keep the win, excuse me. But now he's pulling out.
Oh, shit.
And they're all trying to pull out and figure out something. They're all backing off. None of them want the DRS. None of them want it as we get to the final lap. Tadpole goes through, but will Tadpole keep it? Skither to the inside. That's Gagi's teammate. Tadpole gets the lead, but Tadpole can still back off and try and get the DRS, but he doesn't have much time to do that. Here comes Goggy with Skither and Josh. Tadpole is a sitting duck now. DRS enabled in just a second. On the strip, they're about to get 4 wide, and they do. 4 abreast. Goggy through, but can he keep it? Josh with an hellacious send. And I can't believe I'm saying it because he was named one of the worst 5 drivers in RPL at one point by a lot of the community. And he's had multiple podiums across all tiers, but for the first time, Blue Goggy wins! I cannot believe it! He has done it! He has held on! Josh, second. Skither will get close to the championship lead. I cannot believe it! Can you believe your eyes? Blue Goggy wins for the first time ever! Tadpole, Wavy, Metal, Trat crashed across the line, and then Blonde is our final points runner. You are not gonna believe this kid's reaction when you watch his stream afterwards, but I'm gonna do you a favor and watch it now. Are we ready for the reaction, Tadpole and Invade? Do you want to hear it?
Oh god.
Go on, man.
I know Tadpole doesn't, but for first to fourth, Tadpole will talk about it in a moment, but wow.
Oh well.
Oh my god, I won! Let's go!
Thanks all the haters. This one's for you.
Hey, he did use the radio victory, I thought. Thanks to all the haters. And as I said, he was named across the community one of the worst 5 drivers in RPL at one point, but the country he visited most recently on holiday when he missed a few races, he's got his first victory at. Wow. Here are your podium celebrations, and it is a first win, just like we saw for Suggy C1. This time, it's Blue Goggy 14. Wow. There are your points from the sprint race. Trident. I don't think they've got the constructors. They needed both cars in the points to do that, but they can do it in the feature. Let's take a look at your results. Invade, you are 11th. Tadpole, you were 4th. Tadpole, you went from 1st to 4th.
First? What?
Yeah, on the last lap.
Oh yeah. Not much you can do about the DRS, but...
Wavy is not happy about Goggy winning, but wow. He really did hold on, though. I have to give him a lot of credit. He had a lot of pressure, and finally he got through with it. He becomes the 78th different F2 winner. By the way, we've had 4 first-time winners throughout this season in F2. Invade, I know you probably don't want to hear that, but you would love to do so soon.
He's winning this one.
Am I? From 11th.
You're winning.
Alright then.
Easy
Yeah,
dub.
he's winning.
Already won it, mate.
I'm gonna be leading it to turn 1.
Alright, 15 seconds.
All right, so just remember, for those of you, Josh is starting on pole, and there will be pit stops during this feature race. It is completely daytime, so the sun might affect some people into the braking zone, so we'll keep an eye on that. If it does, we had the sprint race, and we had a chaotic one. Now it's time for the feature race, where the Constructors' Championship can be won by Trident. The 5 red lights are on, and they're also off. Josh, off the line better. They're 2x2 behind. Skither and Metal alongside each other. Tadpole is there, and you can see Skither get shoved out. Trouble at the back. That is 3 cars involved. wrecked by Storm, George, and I think Titan got damage. He did. Very troubling there. But Metal, alongside Skither, trying to get by here. Down to the heavy braking zone of, I believe, turn 5. You look at the tires, but you can see Metal on the attack. Side by side with Skither. They almost come together, and there might have been damage. But now, everybody has been stacked up because of it. Remember, 4 extra laps in this feature race, so not much more time to make your moves, but Strat Racer went off and had to take the escape road. Maybe gonna get that removed, we're not sure, but Blue Goggy, who won his first race in the sprint, now facing the wrong way. I think Hunted may have got involved too, but 1.6 is the gap between Josh and Skither. That's a hellacious gap for the lead. And Trat, back to his usual ways in F2, lags out. Unfortunate for Trat, but really second all the way to about 13th or 12th, excuse me, all still in DRS. Somehow Titan's still here. He's got damage. It's crazy how he got in a lap 1 incident and still had that happen. By the way, with Goggy's win, Prema have won in yet another season of RPL. Invade, Hunted, that's a close battle. Blonde, Trat, that's also a close battle. Blonde is in the session, Trat is not. Metal looked to make the move on Skither, but didn't. He actually made Skither lock up and go deep. That may have been a warning for Skither, because where you can go off there, and Tadpole, you can probably vouch for this at some point, whether it's F1 or F2 cars, you do get a warning there if you go too far over on that curb on the right.
Yeah, with that is really sunny into that corner, so I can't really see anything.
Here we go. Second place up for grabs. Skither wants it. Skither has it. Metal wants it. Hunted through for 8th. Trat has lagged out, so Invade, you're his next target.
Oh, damn.
Tadpole on the attack. Will he get Metal? Will he wait for it? Will he wait for Metal to get Skither? He's gonna wait for it. Smart move. Smart man. As Tadpole would say, smart fella, not a fart smeller. Oh! Into the wall! Blonde tagged it with the rear, and there was also someone else behind. I think that was Ikazuchi too. And look at Titan. Getting Jake Bandy here for 11th. Jake Bandy, dive bomb, goes off. And he's gonna have to rejoin. Likely behind Titan, and he does wait for Titan. Remember, these two are teammates over in the F1 car side of things. Remember, F2 at different academies, different thing there. So we'll keep an eye out on whose academy is doing the best at the end of the day. Blonde right now with Hunted, 7th place, 6th place right here up for grabs. Ikazuchi also running further behind, and he's in the wall. He's not out, but he's in the wall, and his hopes have gone dashing down. This is not good for them. And now Tadpole, realizing Metal is losing time here on those softs, wanting to get by to go attack Skither. And Tadpole's not yet through. Oh, maybe getting pinched almost to the wall. Metal trying to defend. I know he gained a lot of time down that straight. Maybe just barely had the DRS, but now we'll have another dose of DRS down toward the ending bit. The actually last corner is Sector 1. Josh leads. And this would be a good weekend for him to win. He's a first-time winner of the season as well, by the way. Tadpole on the move. Lunge, maybe. Side by side. And Tadpole is ahead of Metal. Wavy, by the way, your driver, Invade, up to 5th. On the softs as well. Same strategy as Metal.
Yeah, he seems to be very strong in F2 cars, I've noticed.
Yeah, he's done well at scoring points this season. He's not had a podium yet. I think he came just shy a few times. I think he was up there in Austria running in the spot. Metal just kisses the wall. And we have Strat Racer getting overtaken by Titan and Invade. Strat Racer will need another invite. We'll get him sorted in just a moment when once this battling calms down.
I wonder if Silla's damage.
Well, I can check that. He is in 2nd place. 2.2 behind. And
interesting enough, Titan has damage.
Yeah, I can check that. I feel like a race engineer now too.
I can see it.
Let's see. I don't think Skither does, but from that angle I saw, it looked like he did. I'm just gonna see as we go down the straight. Skither does not have damage. You were asking about Titan. He did have damage on lap 1.
Yeah,
and he does have it
massive
on the
wreck.
right plate.
There was a massive wreck into turn 1.
Gotcha. That's what it was. It was Titan, George, and I think wrecked by Storm, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and then there was another one. I think it was the other Prema.
That would sound about right. Goggy did get involved. Tadpole has been overtaken. Invade is being overtaken. Actually, Jake Bandy is spinning. He clipped Titan's rear, and Invade you had nowhere to go. There was also some guys behind you overtaking, which they'll get to now. And oh! Jake Bandy and George! They're connected!
Oh!
And Skither! The man who could take the championship lead today has gone off!
Your,
Door wide open.
Metal hit
him. Metal hit him?
Yep.
Oh, that will go to the storage room. And Metal's already had some wins taken away in the storage room. So this will not be good for the guy who has 3 wins running car number 3.
I don't know if
George.
they said it just went, they flopped the rear, but definitely contact.
All right, well, I mean, hey, you stream your races, right? So you got a good point of view.
Yep.
So that'll be probably submitted to the storage room, no doubt about it. I know
Big
Scalar
for the
doesn't usually submit a lot of incidents anyway. Invade what? What are you saying?
Big for the championship.
It really is, and you know what? I know Trident still can clinch it today based on what Carlin, ART, and Virtuosi do. They can for sure clinch this, but there'll be more points here. But this is not going to be the day they would have wanted on the day Jack's not here, and on the day Skither is struggling. I would even say he had a good sprint race, but he's only struggling now because of the circumstances. So it's not all his fault, but Josh leads. Tadpole is second. Metal and Wavy now fighting for the podium. Wavy Knife in contention here for the win. And I'll tell you right now, he actually will be a lot more as we get on later as Metal overtakes Tadpole. The reason why Wavy is in good position here, and same with Metal, but better than Metal right now, is because Metal could be facing a penalty in the storage room. We don't want to put that out there as if he for sure will, but we do want to mention to you that they're on the same strategy, and here comes Tadpole in. Those super softs will be good later on, but how good will they be? They will have the advantage over Josh, and Wavy Knife could be on for his second F2 win. His only win came on the streets of Jeddah. Invade, Jake Bandy, side by side for 10th. And there is a move complete there. If you guys ever want to cut in, you guys can. I have some fries to eat here because I got to eat before I go after F2 is over. But right now, we have George and Titan. And George is through on Titan, but these two will be commentating Tier 1 later today for those who are not aware at Baku. Blue Goggy, already a brand new winner. Now a brand new place for him, 8th place. And that's going to be crucial, by the way, for later on, especially as they switch to the softs. Oh, George off and rejoins maybe behind Goggy. Nope, just ahead. He's trying to let him by because he maybe thought it was unfair. And Egg wants to join us. I will allow Egg to join us. Not the commentary, but the game.
Storm just got the rear in front of me. Bit tense. Unfortunately, I didn't get DRS for it, so...
Well, you're the only one who's pitted in this race for the top 8, so that's crucial. George is being overtaken by 2 cars. Wavy Knife up to second now on SLR Metal. And if I'm correct, Invade, although they're the same livery but not in the same car, these are Academy teammates.
Yes.
All right, 3 wide. George gets both Premas, and both Premas have almost come together. We've seen this happen already. It happened on a formation lap, funny enough, once before, but Goggy tried to overtake Titan, and now Titan goes to the pit lane.
Double stack.
Goggy also blinks, and Invade, they're coming too.
Yeah.
This is a bit early for you. Oh,
Tires are
Goggy has
really
sped in
dead.
the pit lane.
These were the tires that I started last race on.
Surprising. That is surprising. Metal, through on Wavy. By the way, Josh, I've invited you, Egg. Josh did pit, and so have others. Crucially, though, where Josh is out, let's talk about his gap to Tadpole. 3.2, but he needs to warm up his tires a little bit more. So this gap will come down to about maybe 2.9 here very soon. Oh, spin. George around. Now, as Trad Racer's not back in this session, this is going to be interesting. If George's car is badly enough damaged from this, or his confidence is, this may affect Josh as they try to catch up to him. And George off again. George is really struggling.
Just something to note. Somehow the 2 Primus have double stacked and came out ahead of me. I don't know how they managed it.
Oh! That was contact.
Were they really close together? Oh, yeah. Crazy. No idea.
That is weird.
Yeah, they was literally right behind each other.
And I'm going to guess they fixed her damage, but I will check. Has Titan and Goggy fixed their damage? Well, Titan is not. We can see that.
Goggy hasn't.
Has not either. Alright. Well, they pitted and they didn't fix their damage. Metal, Wavy, 1-2 right now. And we're about to be halfway, by the way, for those of you who are not aware. But if I lose my voice later on, as you could start to hear it, and Vade has gotten into an incident, we'll get to that in a moment. I was just going to say, if I lose my voice later on today, as you could already see it starting to go, I'm going to have to thank Blue Goggy for that one. Invade? What had happened?
I got a bit too... I just got too late on the brakes. I tapped the rear Goggy and I spun myself around, trying to avoid him.
Well, I could give you some good news, if there is any. Jake Bandy got a 10-second for speeding in the pit lane, and he is into the pits for the first time this race. He was the last one of those guys on super soft tires. Josh, caught behind George now. How will George put up this fight? You know, in F1 cars, this is basically Red Bull versus Ferrari Academy. Already a big rivalry there. But right now, George gets overtaken and thinks to go back down the inside. Is it too deep, though? There almost is going to be contact, but it does cost Josh some time in this battle. Tadpole is there with Trap. We'll get the DRS if it is all timed perfectly. And crazy enough, I'm saying this. Didn't think I'd be saying this with these two, at least. But Hunted and Skither, although they have damage, Hunted, and I don't know about Skither, are in a battle. I think Skither does not have damage. He does not.
Yeah, it wasn't timed perfectly.
Tadpole gets... You were saying?
Wasn't timed perfectly. No DRS.
But you are now 2.2 behind Josh, so that's a bit better. Remember, for those of you who don't know, as the Bullard has been broken down now, but Tadpole is a sprint race merchant. He has only one feature race win of, I believe, his 7 wins across F2 in RPL. So, I know you would love to add another one. We have yellow flags, where we did just a moment ago. That was at the back half of the field. Metal and Wavy continue to stay out, but I'm really thinking here, if Josh has been held up badly enough, as there is a spin, that is Ikazuchi, who's just having a nightmare of a race here in Vegas. That is someone who has rolled the dice terribly today. But I'm just going to say, for Wavy and Metal right here, I think Wavy does get put in a good spot, regardless of what has happened here with Josh still going to gain time here. I think if those super softs come into effect at the time he'd want, being on the revert strategy, this is actually good for Wavy. And he can maybe get it in the steward's room if Metal and Josh battle it out. I don't know. I'm just putting a scenario out there. Speaking of a scenario, we've already had 2 premise collide, and hopefully we don't see it again. We're about to, though. Invade, you were saying?
That was me.
Was that
Invade, Tadpole?
George had a moment.
Tadpole?
Again.
And that's a yellow flag. That is Ikazuchi, Josh's teammate. And it's going to be crucial that Tadpole gets by George. And 2.8 now the gap. This is going to get tricky. George has been struggling. Trying to defend, losing it on the curb. And Tadpole looking to go through on the inside. George gives him the space. And George, he's really struggling. Something is definitely wrong with his setup based on the way he keeps sliding the rears.
Yeah, I lost me a second there. Might lose more because he's probably getting me back here.
I will say, though, if I remember street races here... Oh, George, is he around? That was a great save from George. I was just going to say, with Josh, I wouldn't rule out anything yet, because I know in a race at Jeddah here, in our F2, we did see him have a few slides and actually lost a lot of time. Still won the race, though, in one of the races that he did. But crucially, though, Josh is a driver who can be prone to mistakes at times. Even yesterday, he did basically half the race at Monaco with damage, and Tadpole, of course, being your driver, you know a lot about him. Ikazuchi, speaking of one of your other drivers, out in the pit lane, our first driver to retire, and also Goggy and Titan, 2 teammates, do swap it around as Josh inherits the fastest lap now. George Alp Williams, speeds, what a bad boy, 10 seconds. Strat Racer also pits. So because of that, Titan and Goggy are in the 8th and 9th place spots. That is technically, I think, gonna be the last point spots if the super soft tires do come into hand for those guys at their best. But this is a scrap. This is quite a good scrap right now. This is a cracking battle between 2 teammates. Only for 8th, but this is the best Titan would finish this season. It would actually tie it. And maybe more if we get anyone who has penalties later on or just has any issues, because we have seen the rear locking be quite bad for drivers today. Invade, ahead of Jake Bandy right now. That is for 10th place. Invade, you've now got points as of right now for today.
Yeah, and I am in that 10-second gap of Goggy.
That is very true. We almost forgot about that.
But my tyres probably will not make it to the end.
Well, if this was Monaco like yesterday for Tier 2, the slowest may win the race, but yeah, not so much for Vegas. The 2 leaders are in, and Blonde needs to pit too, and he does. This might be the right time to pit. Did he lose it at the pit lane? It looks like he almost did. He was ghosted, actually, so he was trying to push, but maybe taking it extra careful at the end there. Just a reminder, Skither, Metal, they won races last week. Right now, they are in the championship battle to try to catch down Jack. And with where Josh and Tadpole run currently 1-2, they're doing everything they can as well. In the race, the most points are awarded in to go get Jack for our championship lead. Blonde down to 7th, Metal warming up his tires, and Wavy warming up his tires. They are currently 3rd and 5th, and they are at the best chances here to take either a victory or a podium. And Jake Bandy's gone wide, and Invade is through.
Yeah, I faked a lunge up the inside and he went deep.
We've got the 2 Prima boys battling out in front. Got Titan, who is an American, and one who some call acts like an American at times. No, he's British. Or Malta, whatever. Blue Goggy gets 8th place back. I bet they're not going to like that one. They'll say I'm discriminating against nationalities. I think Goggy's got a little bit of American in him, even though he came here in the country for a holiday a few weeks ago. I think it's very fitting that he got his first win at this in this country. Would have been better if it was Miami, though, because that's where he was around, Florida. So, Metal takes over 2nd place, inherits that over Tadpole. I'm going to guess Wavy can do the same on Sealer here very soon. He's 7/10 back of the DRS straight. Let's see how powerful this DRS is. He closes up to about 3/10 of the braking zone, so it's really going to depend on your wings and the exit you get out of, I believe that is turn 12? Yeah, it's 12. And Titan gets ahead of Blue Goggy. The teammate battle at Prima. The underdog team, you could call him. And, yeah, I was speaking to Goggy last night. We were talking about if I think he was going to win the season. I did say he was going to win. I was right. I'm always right. I'm kidding. I'm just having an ego right now. But, yeah, it's very good to see him battling his teammate, though, the day that he won. And, prove that this lineup is not as terrible as he thought, but they've collided! Oh, my goodness, that is actually a commentator's curse.
Crazy.
This lineup is not as bad as they thought, and then they
Fantastic
collide.
commentator's curse.
Yeah, right? He's gonna watch this back and not like me. I'm afraid.
Well, it was their fault. Crashing.
Just don't be teammates. Right?
Don't be next to each other.
Real.
Yeah. Realistically, Goggy won, Titan hasn't. I think Goggy's proving that Titan can win an RPL race at some point. Maybe by crazy circumstances, but I know I'll get called delusional for it, but maybe it will happen.
Be delusional.
Yeah.
Trust the process. Titan win next season. Next race.
Yeah. Well, next race, for those who are not aware, is Brazil. That is the day of the 5-year anniversary for RPL. So as the things do get wrapped up, whether it's the drivers or constructors, we will focus on that. Wrecked by Storm has caused yellow flags. He's further on back, but Wavy needs to get this move done on Skither now. He's going for it. Going, catching, passing, and ahead. 4th place is Wavy's. But I don't know if this is too little too late or not. If he can get to Tadpole and get there for 3rd, that'd be great to see him back on the podium. But we would not just have Wavy back on the podium. We'd have High Tech back up there.
Just going back to the point about the 5-year anniversary, it would be fitting for Titan to win next week.
I agree.
Just let him win.
I very much agree with that. I would also claim the Chiller as well because he was here during the first ever race.
Exactly.
His first and last race.
The government will ban him. So, Metal is closing on our race leader. The gap has gone down to 3.2. I think it was once a 5-second gap, but as you would always hear from your race engineer, you need to get those tires to the end. And Metal, if he can close down on Josh, I think he'd actually close down so much the championship gap, I think, to about, what, 10 points between him and Jack? But Skither will still take advantage with, what, 10 points probably? And I think that's just enough to have a 10-point gap over Jack. But it still does make the gap kind of closer in a way, if you think about it, between 3 drivers rather than just the 2 and the ones behind. Just remember, if Josh does win this race, he finished up there in the sprint. He was 51 points back into today. I think it'll be about 20 because Skither will retake that championship lead. But again, heading into the 5-year anniversary race at Brazil next week, it does just make things a little bit closer, and it does make things more exciting, especially from an entertainment and commentary point of view. Skither gaining on Wavy, but is it enough to make the move? No. Wavy seems to hold decent pace right now, but not enough to close up to Tadpole at all, it seems. Or, if he is closing up to Tadpole, Skither is too. So that's the big thing that we'll have to focus on for these final laps. Right now, for those not aware, as we get to the penultimate lap, final point spot is RSF1 Invade. That will be Jake Bandy here, as Goggy will have that 10-second. I think it'll actually be... might still be Goggy because... Yeah, George has the 10-second. Jake Bandy has the 10. Goggy has the 10. It's going to depend on the gap with Trat and... Goggy. I think he'll be just okay, but he cannot collide with his teammate again if he wants to do that.
I mean, I might not even get to the end. My tires are dying.
Yeah, you've got 6 laps on yours compared to the guys having 3, so that is a fair point. And I'll make it 7.
I'm on like 65%.
I was going to say, you pit it quite early. I was very surprised you did that because I would have thought you would have done similar to what Metal did and save it for the last 4 or 5 laps because right now he's 2.4 to Josh. I think this gap is really coming down, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. See, as we know, catching's one thing, passing is another. And, well, I think Tadpole knew about that in the sprint race if I want to have a dig at anybody for an example.
Well, I mean, they caught me and they overtook me. So, I think it's
That's
pretty
racing,
easy to...
sadly, sometimes.
Easy to overtake at this track.
You just have a skill issue of holding on.
Fair enough. I'm holding on
Skither.
alright here.
Yeah, but not for the win.
Trying to get by Wavy. Wavy trying to break the slipstream. Wavy breaking the slipstream, but aggressively into the braking zone. Was that too late from Wavy?
Go on, Wavy.
Oh, Skither slides because of it. Final lap. The gap is 2.6 with Josh and Metal. That is wrecked by Storm, who has caused yellow flags. But if things stand the way they do right now, I believe Trident might claim the championship. We'll have to look at the added points when things are over. But right now, we're going to focus on Josh for just a moment and give him some credit because he got his first Tier 2 podium yesterday in his second start. And right now, he is on for what is going to be, I believe, his third F2 win.
I don't know if
Who else is a
Metal has
third
the
F2 win?
tyres.
You were saying?
I don't know if Metal has the tyres. Super soft don't last long.
Battle for 10th, battle for 4th, all still continue. But Josh, Metal, Tadpole, those top 3 will do what they need, it seems, to bring down the championship gap over Skither and Jack. Question is, though, can Skither add 2 extra points and get Wavy Knife here? Invade, you are very much struggling.
Yeah, my tires are on 75%.
Bro needs to do the Minico and get to the end and do it on like 90%.
Yeah, give me a puncher.
Yeah, right, on the last lap. Well, he got a puncture quite late, actually, if you remember. Here we go. 4th place up for grabs. Yellow flags. That's for the point spots. I think that's Jake Bandy or one of the Premas that's actually hunted around. Skither has got Wavy for 4th, crucially. Yesterday was his first Tier 2 podium. Now it's his 3rd F2 win. Josh claims victory in the feature race at Vegas. Metal is 2nd, crucially gaining points. Tadpole is 3rd. That's also more points. And Skither limits the damage on the day he got spun out and is 4th. Wavy Knife does not get high-tech a podium, but he had a good race. He's 5th. Blonde is 6th. And Titan is going to get his best finish of the season and come home 7th. With the damage he had from lap 1 as well. Impressive efforts from RPL Titan Iron. Hunted into the wall again. Hunted's got a puncture. Hunted went on 8 lap softs and he got a puncture. It's 8th.
83%.
Wow. That's the good insight we have as commentators. And Trat and Hunted. Oh, Hunted does beat Trat to the line on the puncture he had, although it was Trat's ghost car. That is 11th. George 13th, and Wrecked by Storm will be 14th. So Trident got 20 points. I think regardless, that is enough for the constructors. I just want to look at the points after just to make sure. And Wrecked by Storm in his debut. Did not have the debut he would have wanted, but he does cross the line. Just remember, Trident have never had a Constructors Championship in RPL, but they have had a 2nd place finish before. And they finished in the top 3 only twice. But Blue Goggy's team on the weekend, he won for the first time. Could very well have claimed the Constructors Championship when we add things up. Josh celebrates in the top step of the podium for the 3rd time. Good to see him up there. And it's an all-British podium! Woohoo! Got British drivers into my party. How cool is that?
We're him. Crazy.
Chuck.
So, Trident scored 18 points. ART only managed 36. That's 18 points more. And also, Carlin, they got a total of 26. Virtuosi, they got 20. So Trident and Carlin are ART. ART got more. So 36 to 18. So 18 is the difference. That will not be enough. Meaning tonight, Trident are the F2 Constructors Champions for the first time. The team, Blue Goggy, put the 2 champions in of Jack and Skither, have done it. They have won the Constructors Championship in F2. They are the 7th different team to do so, and how fitting for them to do it on the weekend. Their team principal wins for the first time. There were your final results. I would have to give Goggy the driver of the day from the sprint. The feature, it's kind of hard to give it to anybody other than Josh. So, let's get in our winners from the events. Josh Pentland and James Aegis. 2 winners from RPL Vegas. Just a reminder, folks, before we get interviews started, we have F1 later tonight at Baku. It originally was Spain. Tier 3 next week at China. Tier 2 at Texas. And F2 at Brazil. And the 5-year anniversary next week of RPL being founded. So we've got our 2 winners here. Hello. Good to have you guys. Yes, you do. Unless you want to not be heard. You definitely do. So, I'll spice this up. Invade, I'll have you be the co-com for getting 1 question for one of these guys, and I'll have Tadpole be the co-com of getting an interview with one of these guys when I'm done with my questions. First off, our sprint race winner, Blue Goggy.
Yay.
I don't know if you were watching the stream at the time.
No.
We were going mental. And I know you were going mental too. But at one point, when you joined this league, I think 2 years ago now, you definitely could be classified and were classified amongst the community privately as one of the worst 5 drivers in this league. But now,
I guess so.
you had up to about 8 podiums across your tiers of F2 and Tier 2 and got your first victory tonight. First off, how does it feel? And you had the pressure on you, and you defended from 3 talented drivers. Josh, a driver who is in championship contention and, won his first Tier 2 race. Or not won his first Tier 2 race, excuse me. Got a podium for the first time in Tier 2, and won on his first F2 weekend. And you had Skither as well, an F2 and Tier 1 champion, and Tadpole, a Tier 2 champion. All drivers you had to defend off there, and you beat the odds. Talk me through it.
I'm obviously ecstatic. Feature went a lot less ecstatic, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, starting third, I was obviously going to have a chance at the win because I managed to get into the lead quite early on. My setup was actually quite low downforce, so I managed to fend them off a bit more on the straight than I think people would expect. So yeah, I think when it came down to the last lap, I was like, I cannot be first going onto that massive straight. So the only thought I had was lift off, see if they would go by, and then it was just kind of, I don't really know. I think it was like 3 wide going into the corner before, and I didn't really. And then Tadpole went through, so I was like, oh okay, I should have DOS, and I did. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a relief because obviously Scyther took it away at Stowe on the last lap at Britain. But yeah, to just kind of get it over the line, get my first one, and then hopefully I can build on that in the future.
So, your radio message as you crossed the line was about proving the haters wrong, and I want to ask about that. Do you feel like you have now that you've won, and also considering you've won in the U.S., does it feel a bit more fitting as well to win in the country that you recently visited?
I guess, but I don't think I really have like proved everyone wrong or whatever. But I guess I have in a way, but there's still a lot more I can achieve in this league, and I think I will strive to do that because obviously the first win is just kind of one of the first steps, But yeah, there's still a long way to go in my RPL career, hopefully, and I will strive to achieve more.
Well, congratulations, I would say after this. Go tell your brother, celebrate it with him, because I know he'll be proud. Invade, any questions for Bulgogi, a former teammate of yours?
Well, first of all, congrats, Goggy. You finally did it.
Thank you.
And
No, took a long
One before
time.
Titan.
how do you feel now Trident have locked up the constructors?
Yes, Titan have won it.
I mean, obviously TP is very nice to have. I mean, obviously I'm not driving for them, but to just see what Jack and Scythe have accomplished over the season is just extraordinary. To be honest, and I think I didn't at the start of the season. I had a plan. I didn't want to put a good driver and a bad driver in the same team because I'd rather be like first. I'd rather be first and seventh, like in third and fourth, in the constructors. So, yeah, it's just kind of amazing to see like what they've accomplished as a duo, and obviously Flame haven't done so well, but it's fine. I don't really care what team it is as long as we're the ones winning, and yeah, hopefully they can do the same thing next season if they're in the same team.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say as well, with that said, you were asking me a lot if you would win for the first time this season, and you did become the 4th first-time winner of the season, so congrats on doing that once more. We believed in you. It's simple as that. So now to our feature race winner. Speaking of another first-time winner, this was the guy who actually was the first-time winner of the season. Crazy to say that. It's going to be weird to say that fast. But Josh, it's your 3rd F2 win, And it comes a day after your first Tier 2 podium as well. And that happened in your second start. I think you're really making your name here, and it's really great to see. Kipu brought you in, you won at Spain, and you've won twice since. But how would you say today's race went in terms of that, and how do you feel basically proving yourself in that exact way? Make sure your audio is included.
It is, don't worry. First of all, congrats to Goggy for the sprint win. That was
Thank you.
quite the statement. That DRS games was quite fun at the end, to be fair. You know, it was a bit, you know, nervy, and but in terms of, I think that's probably my best F2 win in RPL so far. Just for minute one in time trial, I felt the setup felt great. You know, I felt confident coming into the sprint and the feature. Happy to be, well, obviously Skiller was on track. He's like for me, he's the one to beat. I don't know if he is in the championship, but pace-wise, it feels like...
Yep. Championship leader now.
Yeah, so...
Jack missed.
You know, it's... it feels great, to be fair. I got a bit lucky because I pulled a second gap at the start of the feature. I got a really good getaway, and then I think Medal and Skither were going at it quite a lot for the first lap, which just allowed me to pull away and manage my own pace. So, yeah, really happy with that. As I said, probably my best win so far. Hopefully more to come.
Yeah, so, I mean, you said your best win. You've had 3 wins now, a Tier 2 podium now. I think you've got to be happy for sure that Kipu brought you here in this way. He brought you here. You were the guy we didn't know, and I even got criticized for it because I said with the lineup of you and I think it was Optical at the time at the start of the season, I said it was the worst pairing because I don't know enough about you guys. But It's safe to say we know enough about you now. How would you say it has been your first 8 weeks of racing here, and now even adding a Tier 2 podium to your name yesterday too?
Well, I think my radio message summed it all up, proving the haters wrong again. I don't know which one was more nerve-wracking, Monaco yesterday or Vegas today, with Medal on Superstar hunting you down. That's you know, it's not a sight you want to see. But yeah, I feel happy that obviously Kipu trusted me to bring me in, and I've kind of just done my work in the background and slowly improving every weekend that we come to. So yeah, as I say, hopefully more wins to come, and I aim to hopefully win a championship one day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're gonna do great things here, and you already have, but you will continue to do so. Congratulations on the win. Let's make this a bit awkward now. Tadpole, you're behind. You came behind Josh into today in the championship standings by 1 point. You finished behind him in the race, I think twice, and you both do gain points in the championship lead. But do you have any questions for the man you're doing that with, Josh?
Yeah. Congrats. It's never nice to be beaten by a teammate-ish, but however, do you think you can go on and win this championship, or do you think the gap's too far?
I think the gap is probably too far, but we'll keep pushing. You know, today I think Skither made a mistake actually in the feature race, which put him back to P5, P6. So if we can get a few more of them, then we can have a good shot. But you know, I think the aim for this season is just to keep doing the best we can in every race and not look at the points tally and see where we are at the end of the season.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. We had a first-time winner in Tier 2 as a tier, first-time winner in Tier 3 as a tier, and we had a first-time winner, well, first-time winner, I think, of RPL in Tier 3, and a first-time winner of RPL in F2 later today. Find out in Baku if we can go 4 for 4 on that later on today. I will not be there, but we will have Titan and George on deck for commentary later in Baku tonight. Join us for that. And if you're not going to join us then, make sure you join us next week for Tier 3 in China, Tier 2 in Texas, and next week on the 5-year anniversary in F2 Brazil. That'll be the next one for us. Invade, Tadpole, thank you guys for joining me as the in-race reporters for tonight. I really appreciate having you guys' company.
No worries.
I got to eat all my fries as well because of that. But yeah, either way, Have a good one, folks. We will see you next week for Brazil or later on tonight in Baku for F1. Ryan Searles signing off. Have a good one. Say goodnight and goodbye.